Deep into this group stage 2 that the state of the teams really hasn't changed that much from group stage 1 to group stage 2.
That was my Venno impression. You like that?
Hey, yes, I did.
Caught you off guard, caught you slipping.
Yeah,
what kind of intro was that?
Completely destroyed my introduction.
Welcome to group stage 2.
No, there was a story here.
TSM
Every game has a story. Respect the goddamn story. And the story is...
You sound like Game of Thrones.
The teams that were at the top of their groups in group stage 1 remain so. And unfortunately for TSM and OG, the same applies to them. They got fourth in their respective groups, and they are bottom of the group stage 2. And whoever loses this is going to be the bottom of the bottom.
Are you done with your story?
I'm done with my story now. Proceed.
Oh, God.
Big man wanted to interrupt my introduction, but now can't say anything, huh?
No, it's just... that last season of Game of Thrones was so bad.
It was so really bad.
Anyway, Whitemon's going to get Galed, and that is going to be first blood. Can you get the deny, Bryle?
Bryle?
Got to smack the dog. I know you don't want to. I know you don't want to.
Oh, they stunned him. That was smart.
Yeah, that was the next level play.
Well played, Taiga.
You do not want to be giving gold to Venno before the lane even starts. Cyril just buys region with it, and then he just mans up. And even if you kill him and trade, he's just happy to come back.
Yeah.
Nice start for DM here. Going back to that Venomancer.
I'm going to do it again.
Doesn't look like the greatest Venno game, though. If I were to put it on paper.
No.
Rubik's pretty good versus you. Storm doesn't care about any of your slows. Bloodseeker oftentimes can just bypass your wards with the haste that other heroes set up for him. Furion just TPs on you and is a summon hero that can oftentimes deal with the wards. But it's been an OG very comfort pick. Very strong lane dominator for them as well that can enable Taiga on some of these heroes that he has overperformed on, and Monkey King is one of those. I believe he's 4-1 with Monkey.
Okay, so the Bloodseeker was picked up to counter the Pango. Maybe the idea is they just dumpster the Bloodseeker enough in lane. BCM will have a bit more of a game.
Also that the Venno front lines in the fight. There isn't going to be just this easy, clear rupture target, perhaps.
Sure.
But yeah, I think the name of the game is dominate the lane right here. Level 1 and 2 are pretty strong, but Venno is all about level 2 poison sting. What do you get done with that level 3 timing? You start outputting those big right clicks, wearing him down, and then you have a TP cancel on Taiga. So once you're locked in the arena, you got to fight for your life.
BZM already struggling here in this lane against the Storm Spirit, it seems. 9-4 compared to the 5-0. That's a rough one. Oh, caught him with another Gale. This is going to be troublesome for Taiga. He's going to take a lot of damage here. Failed to dodge the Blood Right and is trying to out-heal the damage being done and will be able to be a part of the kill for Whitemon. Though I do almost wonder, with First Blood already being taken, if TM would have preferred if Taiga died first.
That's true. Sacrifice yourself.
Yeah, give me the solo experience. Because now Bloodseeker has level 2 Thirst. DM does not have level 2 Poison Sting.
Still going to be a lot of harass here going in. As Whitemon TP'd mid for the bottle refill.
Really?
That is pretty greedy, man. I know you want to accelerate Bryle in this game off Storm, but leaving Tomato in the 1-on-2 versus Venno, that is brutal. He's going to get full zoned off these waves, so he's missing a decent amount of CS bottom.
If I do that in a pub, I'm at 1,000% being pinged over and over again.
Yeah, and if you're doing that in a pub with Arteezy, you're getting reported.
True.
Watch yourselves out there, kids.
Well, Arteezy would be the one reported because he would kill his items, but...
What if Quinn and Eternal Envy are in the game, then who's reporting who?
Oh, Jesus. That has happened far too often.
Fool, you've unlocked my trap card.
I don't have enough reports for all the players in this one game. Man, had to bring out another round of tangos. Rough life out here.
And the rough life is going to boost up Tomato. So maybe that's what can help this bottom lane. You destroy mid hard enough, you win it off the amp up for the Bloodseeker. I was looking for that rune, looking for the kill, but won't get there in time.
Yeah, if he got there 5 seconds earlier, he takes away the rune and zaps BZM, maybe even gets a kill.
I think mid and bottom are the two very volatile lanes in this matchup. I haven't talked about top too much just because I think Wraith King versus Furion up here, Yuragi probably should just free farm. There's not going to be much pressure going into him. It's just a matter of who gets more CS and levels off the lane.
Sure.
And then Kasane is going to be able to rotate, whereas Yuragi just has to kind of farm, get into that mid game in as strong a position he can. I would expect Armlet, Deso, AEC type build here. Go for the early objective taking with Veno with the zone control and Pango around the pit. That sounds pretty nice to me. And if you're Kasane, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get active on some of these other lanes. Even maybe just TP on BZM here is getting run down the river.
Being totally zoned out of lane. Once you go for the boundary rune, we'll be able to get it. Kasane returns back to top.
You got to be careful how far you step up here in this lane if you're Whitemon. You're a 280 MS wolf with no boots. You get slapped once and hit with that poison. This is like 90% of your HP. Ooh, nice little pause.
What's the minimum movement speed you can beat? 100? I think it's 100. So it means when he's hit by just Gale, he slows down to 140.
Look, why do you ask me all these mechanics questions? Do I look like Fog to you? No. That guy knows all the mechanics. I'm not here for the mechanics. I'm here...
What are you here for?
Actually, I don't really know.
The lore?
The lore? Did somebody say lore?
Nice gank if they can get it. Bryle. Oh, they can't actually commit. That is rough. Taiga may actually die for this. Whitemon not able to get the final hits in and didn't have the mana for Frostbite. That was the reason why.
A lot of early HP being bled off in these lanes. It's got to feel good if you're Tomato running around down here 450, 500 MS. Always nice for Bloodseeker.
Taiga comes back again. This time does successfully get the kill.
This is going to be a rough Crystal Maiden game.
Yeah.
He is already 0-3. He's not going to get the boots. He's just going to get destroyed in these engagements. Food for the war machine that OG are constructing right now.
Who's what in the war machine? I guess you got your siege wagon. That would be the Venomancer.
We are all just cogs in a greater siege mechanics world.
I see. I understand.
I was, of course, talking about the war machine of human despair, Cap, not an actual war. Don't have Pango.
Throw him away? That was weird.
I think they were expecting more people to be there.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute. It's just level 5 Pango. I have Arcane Room. Okay. Easy cleanup. And all of a sudden, Bryle is snowballing this game. Prioritizing him was correct because not only did you shut down Pango, who has been very pesky in a lot of the matches, you're accelerating a Storm versatile lineup with not a lot of insta lockdown. You have a Wraith Fire Blast, which is not reliable for Storm, and your best stun is probably Boundless Strike. So you got to be able to catch him in these engagements if you're Taiga.
I also think Storm Spirit's really annoying for Venomancer.
Oh yeah, it's terrible for that hero.
Gap closed, just instantly, you know, jumps on you, disables you. You could potentially get 100 to 0'd. Even if you get him with poison, can't really do that much to him.
There's not much you can do in that matchup outside of just tank up, buy some fluffy hats, buy a pipe, spam some voice lines, and hope you force an overcommittal.
At least DM has some quality voice lines to be able to spam. Is BZM trying to get off the Rolling Thunder, going to be tossed back into the Frostbite and dead. Kasane shows up, and hey, look at that. About a minute and a half to 2 minutes later than I would have expected, but of course TSM showing up with 4 heroes in the mid lane, as is their MO.
The old quad lane mid. You know when they lost first game and got slapped in that 12 minutes, they had a big team talk, and you know Moon was like, hey, why don't we just do this to other people? Now they're doing it to OG. See if OG have a team talk about it at some point. We'll find Tomato on the return with the chase down. That's a pretty nice kill to get, but you lost your tier 1 mid. BZM has been killed twice, and he has been denied all the power runes here, as well as opportunities to use early Rolling Thunders. He hasn't gotten to interact at all in this game. Very rough start for BZM, who I feel like has been carrying OG in a lot of these games.
Yeah, yeah. NA mid laners, you know, they're just built different. And by that I mean they have supports that heavily rotate and secure power runes for them.
Ah, yes, the classic tri-lane mid built different.
You know, it's funny because I feel like the NA mid laners are usually the one to complain the most about like wanting the 1v1 element of
it is true.
mid lane.
All I've heard for years is every NA mid, bring back 1v1 mid. What's all this nonsense with water runes and refills? And then the second they take like 20 damage mid, they're like, GP mid refill bottle, GP mid refill bottle. Pick one. You can't have it both ways.
It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds. They're just spamming the clock. Guys, power rune's coming up. Guys.
These guys be out here telling you to refill their bottle before they even have it. Like, free TP mid, it's coming. It's coming.
Grab a bounty rune at like 4.5 minutes in. They're like, bro, I was going to get that.
They actually, yeah, that's literally happened to me.
Yes, I know. It happened to me too.
Tomato's just going to smack Taiga here. Taint?
Oh, Kasane. Oh, no. That's actually really bad. Kasane takes the last hit. I think maybe Tomato might have died anyway. That was a little bit too much for him overall.
Yeah, after the move speed wears out.
Yeah.
He's just getting galed in. DM's rushing Atos here. Let's talk about the limited stuns for Storm. This is something that can help you versus Storm in those early engagements. Still tank you up at the same time through the crowns. And give a little more lockdown for an OG lineup that kind of wants to help in gap closing. It's an old school Veno build. The damage is a lot lower, but you can always build it into Gleipnir later. And Gleipnir's going to be really good this game.
Do you think he's actually going to build into Gleipnir?
I mean, I'm saying like way in the late game. You know, I don't think he's going to go it early here.
Sure.
But it's not that. Atos is no longer an item you have to build early and then just throw it in the trash after you're done with it.
Yeah.
You can actually scale it. So I kind of like this. If he gets it really fast, he's the most farmed hero in the game. So it's already flying out. This has got to be like the fastest Atos in all time. Certainly for the patch, because no one else has ever built it this patch.
Yeah. Gleipnir has kind of been put in the trash after TEI.
We're watching a Veno Atos global speedrun.
And it arrives at 10:46.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Survey says 1 minute and 51 seconds faster.
That's pretty fast. Now you want to use it. Now you want to get involved in those fights. Maybe push this mid tower, get a skirmish going around there with some wards. Try and punish Bryle before he can get to any Dispel, because he's going Witchblade after Falcon Blade on Storm. So the defensive items are going to be a long time coming for Bryle. If you can get a couple Atos punishes in there, you're going to feel really good about this pickup.
Oh, tried to swashbuckle away, got pulled back in before it completed. No chance in Rolling Thunder. Once again, TSM with this just overwhelming amount of damage when they jump on this Pango, thanks to, in part, Kasane's Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, the collapse has been really good on this mid lane for TSM.
Taiga?
Making those ults work. That's going to show. Oh, there's that Atos. Get Atos, son. Didn't expect that one.
He tossed him into the trash. the half-hearted chuckle.
I mean, I was gonna make a joke about who he saw down there in the trash, but I have enough enemies right now. I'm not gonna name anybody.
Might take a look in there again, Avery. Might find your career.
That wasn't even that funny, man. It was not even funny.
I found it funny.
It's like one dude in Twitch chat was like, ha! That Cap guy's hilarious.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah, your dad?
Thanks, Dad. No, my dad's not supportive enough.
Oh, that's the hard truth.
That's not even true.
Do you need some help, Cap? Is this a therapy session right now? Did you choke on your water? All right, Yuragi's going Radiance here. You distracted us enough.
Oh, this time he gets off the Rolling Thunder. Oh, that was so close to him dying.
The Centaur stop.
Third time.
The RKO came out of the pit.
Oh, Ari. He gets a swashbuckle away, countered by another swashbuckle from BZM. Gets out the shield crash, but boy, does he die fast. Whitemon tried to get a freezing shield inside of the pit. A big boy clap from Roshan. Hits 3.
Damn, the creep's coming out in force today. I don't think BZM is too happy about how this game is going. Maybe the one upside is that Tomato's having a worse game. So the Pango's been shut down, but it has not been the Bloodseeker doing it. It's just been the mid clamps from TSM. And if we're looking at that network chart, it's still DM way out ahead with that Wraith King close behind. That's a pretty good setup for OG because this Radiance on Yuragi is going to be fast, and that farm acceleration is going to come out of nowhere compared to where Tomato's sitting at right now, struggling to get to Maelstrom. Maybe the one saving grace is early Ags on Kasane is going to clean up a lot of those lanes, so he can buy some time. Another early engagement with that Atos.
Great Nova. You're going to be able to kill at least one here. Taiga dodge. Oh, the Fate Bolt pounced in and finished him off. Actually, stole Gale too, on 2. OG
DM's
will be able to reset.
DM's having a great game. He needs to keep asserting himself on this map right now. Buy time for Wraith King to get the item. Diffusal done for BZM, so even though he struggled, this is that early damage power spike Pangolier can use to swing all these games around. OG really want this mid clash. They probably want to sync it up with Yuragi Radiance, bring everybody to that fight, and just steamroll through TSM. If that happens, they're going to be in a decent position. If you're TSM, you got to be ready for when that fight comes. You cannot get caught off guard right now because you're going to lose a lot of map. Skeletons pushing in some lanes, Eng creeps being able to push this tier 1 mid the second you're off.
Where's Tomato at?
I mean, he's in the orange slot.
He is. The difference between his net worth and Wraith King's, and this is before the Radiance is even completed. Once the Radiance is there, then he's just going to start doubling up on that net worth lead that he already has over Tomato. Bye-bye,
Kasane tag team.
Yeah, seriously.
They've been throwing BZM off the top rope, giving him the old tombstone. Like my wrestling references?
Pretty good, yeah. I didn't really watch wrestling.
Are you American?
I actually didn't have TV.
Show me your birth certificate.
9-9, 2,000 net worth lead for OG. So while BZM's having a hard time, Tomato's also having a hard time. So it's pretty much Bryle versus Yuragi.
Here's the mid clash. Looking for Taiga in the trees. They saw him jump,
but they couldn't actually pull him down. They got the Atos. Follow-up stun. The Rolling Thunder is not going to be there in time. A telekinesis throwback that stuns a lot of heroes there, and they've got the Rupture onto BZM. He's certainly dead. Ari jumping out of the trees to commit, covering Whitemon, who gets a really good freezing field out once again, does die to the poison damage over time. No one took the time to deny him. Yuragi is going to show up to this fight, but he can't really do much with it.
Gets a courier. I mean, imagine that fight was synced though, right? You have this Wraith King Radiance coming out. If that fight happens 20 seconds later, you kill that Storm off the chain stun for sure, and that fight looks very different. I don't think Yuragi's too happy about that one. His team just put on the just put on the brakes for a couple seconds, and I'll come and clean him up.
Well, next time it'll be easier for him to join in that fight because he'll have Blink Dagger for it. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, you just don't want to be losing these engagements with the Venomancer's itemization here. Like, this is an early game-oriented itemization that you want to pay off so you can snowball through that network chart. Because at some point, Furion and Storm are going to be able to gap close them. It's inevitable. And they're going to have the sustained items to be able to tank that man fight a bit better. So DM is just going to run it back mid. TSM try and farm out the map. Put their Ags and Maelstrom to use. And that's a 6th death for BZM as well, tanking the Rupture. He's in a rough spot. He's gonna get found again.
He is indeed.
Locked
down by the Wrath of Nature. God. It's like Kasani's just holding it until BZM shows on the map somewhere.
I will say, he has gotten some good RNG hits on Mango every time.
True.
Those are brutal amounts of damage.
I guess the really rough part is I always found that the Pango versus Bloodseeker matchup, I always felt like it wasn't the most terrible thing in the world if I was pretty high up there on the network chart. If I, especially nowadays, because you have Shard, so you get Ruptured, you Shard. Use the roll up to either stop your roll or to be able to dodge the blood right hit. You could play a lot more around Swashbuckle, especially if you get Basher. Just fight the Bloodseeker. Kasane is going to be caught. This is a big kill. And they will be able to finish him off. Jumping away into the trees is Ari. Oh, he actually didn't make it into the trees. Oh, he swashbuckled. Never mind. Now he gets it, but he's not going to be able to use it.
Iragi shows up with that blink in hand and immediately nails 2 to the board. Now, this is the time to get the Wraith King involved. He can take over the game right now. You don't have much to man fight him here, let alone take away 2 lives. It's not easy poke from TSM. There's no mana burn. Just going to have to deal with it the hard way. Probably push towards BKB on Tomato and maybe even BKB on your Furion in order to take those longer engagements. This is the window where OG want to strike and get BZM back in the game too. Your Pango's been struggling, but if you win a couple team fights here, we've seen this hero come back at rapid speed. Especially if he gets a Brigand's Blade.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought they were going to smoke up. Oh, they are going to smoke up. Oh, no. Nice ward from Taiga. Very deep one. The smoke's going to break. He's going to try and get away, but is going to be caught. So at least they get something for a broken smoke.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
See what Ari finds as he makes his way through the trees. Spotted by a ward, but it jumps down. BCM does get caught. And he can get close enough, I think, for the telekinesis chain stun. The swashbuckle, a little bit more damage. He gets off the rolling thunder, but the physical damage finishes him off still. DM does commit the Nova, and Bryle cannot TP out. So it's going to be a little close, but I think the Poison Sting is going to wear out just in time. He dodges a little bit, but it's not enough. The last, like, 1 or 2 ticks got him.
Toxicity.
Are you a Venomancer player?
I love this hero.
Iragi claims another scalp.
I love all the bad heroes in Dota, because then when you play him and your game is rough, you can just be like, so what, guys? I'm playing Veno.
Yeah, I noticed
like
that
not even
watching
meta.
Your stream. You just intentionally
I mean,
pick the most non-meta heroes.
Imagine you go in a pub and you play Pango or Lesh for like the 1,000th time, like a certain mid players I'm not going to name. If you have a bad game, it's all on you. You just suck.
So you want to be able to have an excuse to guard your ego.
If I play,
I'm not washed up. This hero is bad.
Exactly. If I play Shadow Shaman or Veno or Lion or something and I have a rough game, it's like, what? It was the hero, it wasn't me. Nobody can make this work.
Taiga spots 2 of them. They are underneath a tier 2 tower, though. This is not the easiest go.
They're just going to get the first Wraith King life for free.
Do they have any lockdown to stop from blinking away? They got him. This was
not the move.
There was no way that OG is strong enough just to be diving past tier 2s like that.
Absolutely no way. Unless you're getting some 5-man Boundless Strike or something. It was a decent setup, but you have to remember that these Wraths of Nature have been destroying you in these engagements. And if your Veno's not there, your Veno's all your utility. He's your pipe. He's your Lotus Orb right now. DM's really strong, but you have to take the fights in a way where Veno can help you, which is static, stationary fights around objectives or vision. Now it's just neither. So all of that Veno network does nothing for you there behind a tier 2. And that's a big fight to throw.
He's building a lot of auras for his team. Lotus Orb, Pipe. Chu going to be spotted from the high ground Ari.
That Glimmer. Neither getting off there in a single pull burst.
BZM got to be careful with jumping out so far. Don't want to be ruptured and overextended at the same time. He's going to be working towards that Lincoln's.
Lotus pull.
Lotus pull back there. The Boundless Strike afterwards, but they don't really have anything to follow that up. The Bloodseeker left the lane. I don't know if TSM saw him at top, but
they were definitely going to go there regardless.
Yeah.
But BZM leaving doesn't do OG any favors. And Bryle almost took out.
Oh, he almost died. Okay, he does get one.
The thing is, Bryle had regenerate. So Tomato's going to heal off creeps. Bryle's going to regen up on mid. Doesn't cost TSM anything here, even off that good Veno ulti. The EKB finish for Iragi. This has to be go time. You got to get some good fight around the Roshan area for Yuragi right now so you can transfer it into the earlier ages. Bryle's just having a field day. 9-1 on Storm.
Great performance. What a great bounce back for him, too, after a really rough loss to Game of Gladiators.
I mean, he gave BZM the treatment that Quinn gave him.
Yeah.
Passing along the message. Now you know how it feels.
Yeah. Shit rolls downhill.
And this is the BKB Wraith King smoke.
Oh, that was not the Boundless Strike. That is the Boundless Strike from Taiga, though. It's a really nice one. Wrath of Danger with the Blood right on top of it. That could combo really nicely. 4 heroes silenced. Thankfully, the Wukong's command kind of helps cover them. Kasane, he does have BKB, so OG can't really commit for that kill.
That looked pretty.
It looked a pretty picture indeed. That's all it was.
You have Linken's up on BZM now, too. So if you're TSM, you got to think about popping this. If you don't just hit it with a random spell in the engagement, so you can open up that Rupture. This is that big Wraith King jump that OG have been looking for. They don't get a core off this play, but they're at least able to sustain through this turnaround, which is a good sign for them. If you're looking for these 5-on-5s.
A little bit of a reset. These teams are going to keep smashing into each other. Whichever team breaks is going to lose out on the first Aegis of the game. Just looking for that opening. This BKB on Yuragi you talked about.
TSM have 2 of their 3. I don't even know if Bryle's going to go for one this game. He just wants Sange and Kaya try and tank up the other way. Taiga scouting from the tree line. It's deep. Doesn't have any immediate follow-up, though.
I love his warding placement. It's always in areas that are just not going to be sentried. Granted, it doesn't give the greatest vision.
Oh, look at this. Sitting on top of Bryle.
The Rod of Atos and the Wraithfire Blast. Man, he is tanky, though.
Nether Shawl.
2200 HP plus a Nether Shawl, you're right.
The little things make the... I mean, this is a good Nether Shawl game. She's got a lot of extra armor, too.
Yeah, that Storm Spirit has naturally very high armor, so I guess it's a hero that takes really good advantage of Nether Shawl.
We'll find the Wolf. By the tier 2. Is this enough to open up Roche? That's the big question here for OG. They're getting these support pickoffs, but they haven't been able to get the bigger objective that this timing really wants to play for when you can force that fight into Veno around the pit. That's where this hero thrives.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of poke, though. I mean, Storm Spirit can zip through.
You can steal it, too.
Bloodright gives good vision inside of the pit with the Wrath of Nature following it up.
You got to force it soon, though. When you have Wukong, Venomancer, Pangolier, it's just so good for you to fight around these choke points.
Bloodright checks inside the pit. Doesn't see anybody from OG, really. And they back away from mid as a result. So that was actually a pretty important bit of information. Head right back to it. But while they're stalled out, Kasane is really owning the map. Both the side lanes are really pushed in. Tremendous amount of pressure on the sides of the map. OG have to go contend with that, and it's TSM who used this opportunity to push out.
I think their call was that this bottom tier 2 for OG is getting pushed so hard, someone's going to show there, and they're making a quick smoke off of that vision read. And it's Yuragi showing bottom. This is not the hero you want out of the fight if you're OG. They're all going to try and take advantage.
So confident to take this fight. Fine Chew, Taiga responds here. Getting the Wukong command out. They do have a Rolling Thunder. Tomato countering BCM. BCM stuck in this awkward position. Tries to go for the kill on the Rubik. Not quite good enough. A really good Nova, though. That's going to hit several heroes, but can they push through it?
He's a heal.
Manta gets off the slow. Tomato runs down the Venomancer pretty easily. Ari tries to get away from Yuragi. Not able to get there. BKB blink out. Yuragi keeps his second life intact for now. Yeah, I don't think they would have died for this one. A little bit too low after the Nova hit them.
That's a very close fight.
It was.
I almost think Yuragi could have maybe gone back in there at the end. They are really low on TSM's side. That Veno doing work. And Chu is probably the best target that OG have for TSM to go on. because he's not going to die fast. He's just going to bait out a huge amount of Storm's mana. Do you get the ult on the Pangolier? It's going to slow things down a lot. And the BKB's timings here for TSM really strong. Allowing him to commit through so much of this magic damage.
Frostbite. Taiga stuck up on the high ground. Bryle will gladly join him there.
He dodged that swashbuckle, so keeps his regen rune active. Pretty important here.
Yeah, very important if you want to be able to get this Roshan.
This is not a Roche you want to give up if you're OG.
He just picked up an AC on Uragi. That is a really big item. He can jump into this fight and be very tough to bring down in that first life, especially with that BKB, but they're just not going to get to the pit in time.
Just outplaying OG on the map right now. That'll be an Aegis for Bryle. That's huge. There's not a lot to stop this Storm outputting his damage on you in the fight, even going for the early shard just for more overload procs. Now you got to do it twice. And you can just play so aggressive. Gleipnir done for Kasane as well. There's a lot of roots going through. You only have that one BKB. What the hell? Is that real? That can't be real.
That is why they are actually still up in net worth. I was about to say, I was like, how is this net worth still so even? Well, when you get...
That is an insane amount of difference.
Yeah.
For a game that's felt pretty even. I guess OG just controlling both jungles for most of the game.
Yeah, and Taiga's probably a big factor in that. He's able to play inside the enemy jungle constantly, getting vision. Probably has taken a number of bounty runes for himself.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The bounty gods.
It's crazy how much those bounty runes add up. I mean, it's only 30 minutes in.
OG wishes they had a few more of them right now. So we'll finish up Basher for Taiga. He's been trying to get there for a long time. Could be a pretty pivotal item if he can land a clutch bash on one of these cores in the fight. Unconventional first item on Monkey, which is why even at 30 minutes, it's still faster than the average. I like the idea. It's just the buildup is a bit slow, which feels bad. And then you have to land it right. If you just don't land the bash, it's a non-impact item. So maybe sacrifice some of those bounty runes to the RNG gods, and they'll show you some favor.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Outpost open for OG. Do they want to defend their tier 2? 2.5 minutes on this Aegis. They're smoking up here. Yeah, they don't want to give up the parity in the outpost control. Got to jump somebody outside of Storm.
Tomato would be a really good catch if they could just chain disable him.
We're so close to finding him here.
That would allow BZM to have a lot more free of a team fight.
Oh, obs placed by Taiga. They see Tomato coming back top. They left the area. Now they have to re-smoke to get here a second time.
Yeah, the cores are trying to scramble to get back in position.
I think he stayed too long.
Tomato spotted. Manta, BKB. Oh, he dodges the initiation. It immediately TP's
He can get bashed.
out.
He can get bashed.
He could,
Bash.
but he didn't. They do get Ari.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That was like heads up play by DM though, to Lotus Taiga off the root so you can maybe get that bash. That was very fast.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little gimmick to try and get that big core kill. Tomato will escape.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is still Aegis timer running down for TSM. They did not get a fight out of Storm Aegis here. And I think OG are very happy with that, as BZM just continues to catch up in this game. I mean, he's 4-9 to Bryle's 10-1, and he's the same network. In fact, he's ahead of him. That shows you the power of bounty runes, I guess.
Yeah,
There's nothing else.
What?
He has less CS too. Make sure you pick up those bounty runes, kids.
Ah, got him. Ryle on point. Zips right through the tree Taiga was resting on. Okay, 4 versus 5. Let's see if they can get that tier 2 and take the outpost. Or if OG are gonna fight.
I mean, you only have 30 seconds of Aegis left here. Ryle's also approaching a Linken's of his own to make locking him down even harder.
Where are you going?
I'm really surprised that with the Monkey King, like, it's a 6 versus 4, but they don't feel confident enough to take this tier 2 or take a team fight around it.
It's hard to dive this team deep. Sure, the Storm can jump and he can go in and you can throw Wrath of Nature, maybe Kasane commits, but the rest of the team doesn't have the ability to commit in there and not get punished by Veno wards, by Wraith King coming back a second time. Suddenly you're stuck in a Wukong and Pango can roll in. It's a lot of counter initiation on this OG lineup. I'm gonna try and keep Kasane in here.
Oh, he almost chain bashed him into the Rolling Thunder. Looks like the bashes may still get the kill though. Kasane just can't get out of this.
That's where the basher feels great. And these pickoffs on the side lanes, of course, can't BKB TP out. Doing wonders. DM trying to bait, maybe bit off more than he can chew.
Speaking of bash, Ogre Steel Totem, DM only gets so far away, but now he's just pulled the Bloodseeker into a fight. He may not be able to survive through. Manta goes off, pull back in, tries to get the quick kill onto Taiga and get out.
And Bryle is showing up this game, level 21. Even when his team is in shambles, getting run on the map, still finding the kills.
Please, somebody go get that Radiant Bounty. Please.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That production element that shows like OG, like there was one time where TSM got the bounty rune. Every other time it was OG getting both of them. Yeah, what was it? So 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Oh wait, what? 20? What is that? 27? I'm confused. Oh,
don't worry about it there.
Sorry. I went 5-minute bounty runes. I went back in time 3 years or something.
Don't worry about it there, old man. We're all here for you. Make sure to take your medication. It's over there on the table.
Back in my day. Ari, what is Ari doing?
Playing some wards. Getting some vision, setting up on a side lane. Remember, Fearon can TP in for these kills, does a lot of damage. Find a random support, it's just an insta free kill.
Okay.
And if you don't want a 5v5, you got to make something happen on the map, or at least set up opportunities. Exactly what he's looking for is TSM are also looking for a top on this cliff ward.
They got 2 bounty runes in the Radiant jungle.
That's 1,000 gold. Adding to the lead as Yuragi just walks in here, says, "What's up? You want some of this?"
Top tower is under
No.
attack.
Kneel.
Nobody wants that smoke.
Under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
Wukong in the back. Tomato's just gonna walk out though.
Uh-oh. He's gonna get comboed. Rolling Thunder hits him again. 4 staff, but he couldn't get the zip off.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Awkward
Oh, dear.
engagement for TSM, fighting near that cliffside. Just give him BZM that guaranteed chain stun. Remember, this is Linken Storm, not BKB.
Middle tower is under attack.
Fighting in these choke points for Pango is not your friend. You want to do it in the open where you have a clean storm jump. Somehow that Yuragi walk-in worked. He walked in the store, said anybody home, and they said, Storm Spirit, half off.
Actually, I think it was free.
DM will not be in time to Atos.
Come on, sprites.
Wait on as he gets out.
Cut a
TSM
wave.
splitting the map.
Wraith Pact.
I can see it. It'll help win the man fight.
Yeah.
With the Wraith King, with the Monkey. It's a lot of lifesteal and extra armor going into these heroes. Seems okay. He'll try and protect his wards here by planting his other wards. Atos and the poke going out. This poke is a lot stronger than it used to be.
trying to hide in the invisibility of the Shadow Amulet.
Oh, he cliffed himself.
Did cliff himself. He brings himself back down, though. Pango's got a lot of that mobility.
He's just full-slotted now. I feel like BZM has had an awful game, and somehow he's still so farmed and in a position to just destroy these fights. Lincoln's, Hags, BK, Basher, Blink. It's all those bounty runes. It really is.
Mindbreaker. Ugh.
Even extra on top. You need good ruptures now. It's not enough to just casually throw this out on a support. I think you need the Pango, or can't get the Pango. Maybe Veno's enough if you can burst him in the fight. But Bryle cannot carry you like he was in this early game. Running out of damage.
Yeah, he's just not going to be able to keep up with the Pango farm.
Also, Chu has quietly just farmed a full Greaves on top of that Glimmer mech that we saw earlier.
Wow.
It's a lot of sustain in this lineup now. And TSM do not like sustain. Number one, you're draining Storm's mana on the jump-ins, but number two, you're depowering the Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
So TSM need to get OG low. They need to keep him there to get this extended fight in their favor. The more sustain that comes out for OG, the better these fights are going to look. And they can just group up and play the ball game.
Thank you. Thank you. I was actually thinking about the bounty runes. Oh, they got the initiation. Oh, and they hit him after the Force Staff anyway.
Got out.
Zip, 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 though. Okay. You're going to be able to reset a little bit here. Got to be careful of that latent toxicity. Might be able to catch somebody when they pop their BKB.
That might be enough for you to just burst them.
Yeah.
No Abyssal on your Augie. He opted for Bloodthorn. That single target burst is severe. Just got to be able to land stuns.
They are going to zip on Taiga. They don't quite get him right away. And now Bryle doesn't have the most mana for this Roshan fight, which Whitemon almost actually got the last hit with that Frost Nova.
This is going to be a chase from OG.
Oh, 100%.
You can rupture the Pango, but
TSM.
he's got Aegis.
Popping a BKB, going for BZM, and will be able to get that first life. But the BKB is going to wear thin, and they got to just get out
latent
of here.
toxicity.
The bash is hard time. The latent toxicity prevents Kasane from doing anything for the first couple of seconds of that BKB. And now, well, he's got a Manta. Oh, hit by the Boundless Strike immediately afterwards. They're going to keep chasing after him with this Rolling Thunder. And that is going to be the first time Tomato's died in quite some time. And they get Kasane. All of a sudden, this game is just kind of looking over.
Daylight OG farm. And OG out-farmed him for sure. Or should I say out-ruined him. It's a 6k gold difference is going to the runes. Too much EHP on OG side. Bryle can't get the job done. Your Bloodseeker kills Pango once, but A just lets him come back. And your Augis, they're not even close to touching a Wraith King. It's got Swift Blink, Flicker online. He wants thrown. Your Augie says, team, what are you doing right now? Okay, I'll go to you. I'll go to you. The disciplined call here.
Might as well get the second lane of barracks before going back for the tier 4s. And hey, I got a Storm Spirit for it too. Okay. 3 versus 5 with a buyback that has to come out from the Storm Spirit. He's going to zip back and forth, do what damage he can. Not very much because of the pipe. And OG, they are going to back away and go for... Nope. Ragi's back into it. But now Kasane's up.
Oh, it's just melting.
Throne half health. Some way to be able to stop this. Whitemon gets his freezing field cancel, and they just cannot put out the damage to get this team away from their Ancient. It's going to fall, and there's nothing TSM.